Good afternoon. Today's topic is observability and controllability. So that is the topic. So first we'll start with controllability. Controllability concept I will explain easily with the help of the signal flow graph. Control state variables we should able to control basically. In this signal flow graph, x1 is one state variable, x2 is another state variable, but input is connected to x1, input not connected to x2. So the state of x2 you can't control from the input. So that is a concept of controllability. Controlling is always from input. Observation is always from output. If every state variable is connected to output, you can observe the state of it. So controllability is controlling. It should be under your control, whatever value you want. Accordingly, we should able to control from the input. Observability is always from output. So that is the concept. The state x of t is the definition. You did not by heart as it is, but once you understand it, right is. The state x of t is said to be controllable at t equal to t naught. T naught can be 0 or anything. If there exists a piecewise continuous input u of t that will drive the state to any final state x of tf for a finite time tf minus t naught greater than 0. If every state x of t naught of the system is controllable in a finite time period, the system is said to be completely state controllable. So simple concept. X of t is one state variable. It is controllable at t equal to t naught. Now with the help of input u of t, you have to bring this state into another state x of tf in a duration of tf minus t naught. If t naught is 0, so tf is the final time, some time. This will be definitely greater than 0. And this time gap is finite. So in a finite time gap, any state variable you have to bring into some other state. That means you are controlling the state. If you are able to control every state, it is called as a completely state controllable. So with this simple concept, keep it in mind, you can write your own words. The necessary and sufficient condition is that the matrix formed by this B, AB, A square B and so on, a to the power of n minus 1 into B should have a rank of n. Should have a rank of n. You will understand how this operation can be implemented with the help of numerical example. So this is one beautiful example of signal flow graph to understand the concept of controllability. So here as x2 not connected to u of t. This x2 state variable not connected to u of t. So not controllable. Not controllable. Then another concept is observability. Observability is also here in place of input you use word output. So you are able to observe every state from the output, that is observability. So similar to this matrix, there is another matrix V, that is C, CA, CA square, CA to the power of n minus 1 should have a rank of n. N is the number of state variables in the system, or n is the order of the system, either way. So if you see this example, this beautiful example, has x2 not connected to output y of t. So this output y of t, x2 is not connected to y of t. So x2 is a state variable, its value will change, but you can't see from the output because there is no physical connection between x2 and output y of t. So you can't observe, therefore not observable. X1 is observable, X2 not observable. That is a point to be noted. If X2 is also connected, you are observing X1 and X2. So that is called as a completely observable. I can give an example, any motor. When motor is running, internally flux is developed. But that flux you can't measure. To measure the flux, you have to switch off the power supply and open the motor. Then again flux will disappear. So when fluxes are there, that is a state variable, but using a meter, you can't observe it. So that is another example I can give. So these are the numerical examples. In the exam, they ask this. So this one state equation given, x1 dot, x2 dot, x3 dot, third order state equation, A matrix and B matrix given. Evaluate its controllability. So what is the order here? 3, third order. Because of third order controllability, you have to remember this. B, AB, A square B, A to the power of n minus 1. N is 3, 3 minus 1 is 2. If it is fourth order, fourth term will come. A power 3 into B will come. So B matrix readily available. Now multiply A matrix with B. This is A matrix, B matrix, multiply, you get to this. This is AB product. A square B is nothing but A into AB. So A matrix multiply with the AB answer. AB answer already available. This product is this. You can just check it later. Then finally, what is S matrix? First B matrix. So this is B. 0, 0, 1 is the B matrix. 0, 0, 1. Then what is AB? 0, 1, minus 6. 0, 1, minus 6. A square B is 1 minus 6, 25. So this is the matrix. Now you need to find the determinant of this. This determinant is equal to minus 1. Minus 1 means non-zero. Because of its determinant is not 0, the rank is not 3. Rank is not 3. If determinant, sorry, therefore rank is 3. Determinant not equal to 0, therefore rank is 3. If this determinant is 0, rank is not 3. Here determinant is not 0, so therefore rank is 3. So when rank is 3, hence it is completely controllable. Completely controllable. So what is the statement here? You see here, should have a rank of n. What is n in that problem? 3. So this matrix determinant should have a rank of 3. So same thing here, we got rank of 3, hence completely controllable. Another problem number 2, A matrix, B matrix, C matrix given. Test for observability. What is because it is a third order, what is observability? V equal to C, CA, CA square. So C is already available, 3, 4, 1. CA, C into A multiply, you will get a 0, 1, 1. Then CA square is nothing but CA into A. So CA product is this, A matrix is this. Again multiply, you get this. So 3, 4, 1 is C matrix, 0, 1, 1 is CA, 0, minus 2 is CA square. So this is a 3 by 3 matrix. Again, it's a determinant if you find out. you are getting 0. Because determinant is 0, rank is not equal to 3. Because rank not equal to 3, not completely observable. If determinant not equal to 0, rank is 3, then you have to tell completely observable. So this is the concept of controllability and observability. So I explained the meaning of controllability, observability. Controlling is always from input side, observation is always from output side. Every state variable is connected to output, it is fully observable. Every state variable is connected to input, it is fully controllable. If signal flow graph is given by inspection, you can tell. But if state equations are given, you can't tell. So there is a formula. Using this formula and condition, you can decide whether it is fully controllable or observable. So this is the concept of controllability and observability. Next, another small concept is how to write the state equation for a given network. Write this set of state equations for the given network. So network is given, we have to write the state equations. Earlier we learned how to convert differential equation into state equation, transfer function into state equation, and so on, different techniques, or a signal flow graph to state equations, etc. But whereas here even network is given how to get the state equation. If you observe in this network, inductor L1 and L2, capacitor is C. You know already inductor current is state variable, capacitor voltage is the state variables. So two inductors means two currents I1 and I2. Voltage in the capacitor is Vc. So effectively three state variables are there. Three state variables are there. So you have to write the equations express in I1 dot, I2 dot, Vc dot. That is the standard format of state equations. And input is E of t, output taking across R2. So E of t is input, voltage across R2 is Y of t is output. Now this I1 is one state variable x1, I2 is another state variable x3, Vc is third state variable x3. So x1, x2, x3, I1, I2, Vc. So when we write this loop equation, E of t is equal to R1 I1 plus L1 di1 by dt plus Vc. Simple KVL equation. Now solve for di1 by dt. So di1 by dt left side, all other terms right side. di1 by dt is what? x1 dot, x1 dot. So you get 1 by L1 minus R1 I1. I1 is nothing but x1. Then in place of Vc, write x3, E of t as it is. So x1 dot expressed in terms of x1, x3 and input. Then second loop equation for Vc, started positive go to negative. So Vc is L2 di2 by dt plus R2 I2. So voltage across this and R2 is equal to Vc. So this is this equation. In this we want di2 by dt, that is nothing but x2 dot. So send this right side, you will get this. So x2 dot expressed in terms of x2 and x3. Then third equation, I1 minus I2 is flowing through capacitor. What is current flowing through capacitor formula? C dV by dt. So I1 minus I2 must be equal to C dVc by dt. This is the formula for finding current through capacitor. So what is x3 dot? X3, this C will come this side. So 1 by C, x1 minus x2. Then finally output Y of t is R2 into I2 So R2 X2 because I2 is X2. Now for the given network, we have written the equations. These equations convert into state equation format. So x1 dot, x2 dot, x3 dot is equal to, if you multiply this and this, minus R1 by L1 into x1 minus 1 by L1 into x3. So that's what same thing now here. X1 dot is minus R1 by L1 x1 minus x3 by L1. So we got same plus 1 by L1 into E of t. 1 by L1 into E of t. Similarly, y of t is y of t I should get R2 x. So this and this you multiply, you will get R2 and x. So this is a simple idea how we can convert any given network into state equations. So once anything is available in the form of state equations, by following a standard procedure, we can find out x1, x2, x3. Once you know x1, x2, x3 for t greater than 0, indirectly you are finding I1 of t, I2 of t, Vc of t for t greater than 0. If you know the behavior of I1 and I2 Vc for t greater than 0, the entire circuit condition at any given time we can find out. So that is the beauty of this concept. So in this fifth unit state variable analysis, any given form we are bringing into state equation format, and that we are solving with the help of computer. That's why state equations are playing important role. In a practical condition, the circuit size will be very big, order of 10 equations after order of 20 equations. Such a big network manually not possible to solve. But if it is available in matrix form, with the help of computer, whatever may be the sizes of the equations, we can solve easily in a fraction of second. So that is the whole concept behind this unit. So with this, I am closing the session. Thank you.